Hello and welcome to another exciting We Uplift TV moment. I'm Natalie from Healing Isis and from Whispering Energy. And once again, I'm meeting today with Chris Sade from the Olive Branch Center and from the International Academy for Sacred Leadership. Chris and I have talked before, and one of the things that has stuck with me was the way in which he explained not just second wave spirituality, but you also used the term keep on freeing your spirit.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that. What do you mean by that, and how do we do that?
I would be glad to. Thank you for raising that subject and
Mm-hmm.
giving me a chance to talk with you about it. What I find fascinating with that whole second wave spirituality is
Mm-hmm.
that it is bringing all dualities together. It's joining a lot of things. Like we said, it's joining like Andrew says, Andrew Harvey, our love
Right.
with the divine, with our passion for social justice. So
Mm-hmm.
these are coming together. But
Right.
also, what's coming together is the importance of individual freedom and enlightenment,
Right.
bringing it together with our global contribution.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not service versus the individual, it is the individual and great service together.
Mm-hmm.
And in that work that we are called to do today, in that work of standing up for Gaia, standing up for the world, for our planet, for its future, we must be very, very strong in
Yeah.
spirit to be able to do that work.
Right.
This is We can't be faint-hearted and do that work. I mean, it's demanding, and
Uh-huh.
it's also demanding time-wise. It's going to take time, and it's
Yes.
going to take the tenacity and the strength. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you look at people like Mother Teresa or Martin Luther King. Oh my God, what a strong spirit they needed to have to take on all the bruising and the bruising and the
Yes.
bruising. And to be able to be strong, we have to free our spirit.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be able to let that spirit that defines each one of us, because spirits are different. I mean, they all come from the divine, but your
Mm-hmm.
spirit is a Natalie spirit. Mine
Right.
is a Chris spirit.
Yes.
Ginger is a Ginger spirit. We have to allow that spirit to become free so it
Mm-hmm.
can individuate and become who it is and carry its passion and its
Right.
vision to the world.
Yes.
But that means we have to do serious work on freeing it from
Mm.
all the injunctions, the shoulds, the limitations,
Yes.
the politically correct, religiously correct, and even now spiritually correct.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of correctness in this.
Yeah, right, right. And letting that authenticity come out,
Mm-hmm.
letting the authenticity come out. And may I add something here?
Yes, yes.
And also letting, when I'm speaking about correctness, when we free our spirit, we realize that our spirit is very motivated,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's very tired. Our spirit can be tremendously happy, but our spirit, like we spoke about, can be also grieving.
Right.
Our spirit can be very peaceful, it can be outraged. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of paradoxes. Our spirit has known a lot of victories in our life, but has
Mm-hmm.
also known defeats, like
Yes.
any creator in the world. And to free that, to be okay with that, to put it out, not to feel like, well, I'm a spiritual person, I have to look good all the time and have to be, hey, how are you doing? Great, great, great. I have to own the freedom of my spirit. There are days where I'm on my knees, crying and shedding
Mm-hmm.
tears and asking the divine to fill me up and to be with me. And there are days where I'm flying on wings of eagles. But
Right. Yeah.
I have to claim and free all of that,
Mm-hmm.
so the authenticity can come out,
Mm-hmm.
because that is where the power of the divine is, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It is in our freed authenticity,
Mm.
in people becoming who they are more and more and more, and finding the strength and the calling that their spirit is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very individual. But then that leads them to serve the world because they find their passion to make a difference.
Right. But that seems very difficult for some people. I mean, even some very well known spiritual leaders or people who call themselves spiritual or religious, I mean, whatever terms we're using, they still in some way seem to be limited by that correctness of what you just explained. If you're spiritual, you always have to be at peace and in harmony.
Right,
Yeah. So,
right,
so
right,
how can we
right.
break really through that? How can we get to accepting that we're having a human experience regardless of how spiritual we
Yeah,
are?
Exactly, exactly. You know, I think, Natalie, what is happening with that second wave spirituality
Mm-hmm.
is there is a shift happening
Mm-hmm.
from the correct ideas, whatever they
Mm-hmm.
are, to authenticity. And what
Okay.
we are realizing in that second wave awakening in the world, that it's the authenticity of the heart that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It is the authenticity of the heart that reveals the spirit, not how much are you following the rules in a book that has 10 points or 15 points. And they might be wonderful points and we
Mm-hmm.
have to study them. But that's not what makes us
Right.
spiritual beings that emanate the divine. It
Mm-hmm.
is authenticity. It is being truly the experience that we are of the
Mm-hmm.
divine at that moment. And that
Mm-hmm.
experience could be that we have to build something and see it crumble.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be our authenticity. And we have to hold the grief of that and
Right.
access tenacity. Or it could be that we have to let something flow from us and just germinate in the world and bloom.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, we are understanding, and I think that's where we have to help people understand that where the sacred resides is in authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in any dogma anymore. You know,
Right.
we have rebelled against religious dogmas that
Mm-hmm.
suffocated us, but we have also to kindly deconstruct even spiritual dogmas and
Mm-hmm.
come back to the heart. So yeah,
Yeah.
we have to learn, we have to read. My God, I read unlimited numbers of books,
Yeah, me
but
too.
that, yeah, here you go. But it's there is something much more powerful. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
my heart and saying, what does my heart deeply desire to create in
Mm-hmm.
the world? What is my heart called to do in the world? What is my heart truly feeling at that moment? And to carry the full experience. And you know, again, when we go to people who have been mavericks for us in that journey, like
Mm-hmm.
Mandela, like Mother Teresa, like Dorothy Soelli, who
Yes.
played a big role in the peace movement,
Mm-hmm.
they were not looking harmonious all the time. They,
True.
but they were real.
Yes.
They were real.
That's why
And
we
that,
could relate to them. They were
yes,
they were not
yes,
put up on a pedestal, but you could
yes,
see how they
yes.
felt. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I
Wow.
mean, Gandhi knew a lot of defeats, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
grief, even as his relation with his son.
Yes.
And he also brought incredible blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk about that, and he knew that he had to be all of Gandhi, not
Mm-hmm.
just a part of Gandhi.
Right.
Real, they were real, and in that realness, the divine then I believe,
Mm-hmm.
flowed through them into
Mm-hmm.
blessings to other in the world. So there is a maturation in our thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Harmony is tremendously important. And of course, we want harmony, but we want also to feel the grief of the Divine Mother.
Yes.
There is grieving her children and grieving the planet that we could destroy. We want to feel that too,
Yes.
so we can be called to action and to
Yeah.
compassion and to empathy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. I just resonate with you. I can't argue with you. I'm sorry. I can't. Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure, and I want to thank you for being your authentic self in full integrity with having the human experience and letting the divine flow through you. It's a pleasure. I'm so grateful for the work that you do when you're talking to us, but also in the manuals, in the International Academy for Sacred Leadership, in the Olive Branch Center. I think what you do is really enormously important to help all of us understand where we can go and how powerful we are. So I really want to thank you for that, and also for the time that you just made with us. I really
And
appreciate
Natalie, I
it.
want to thank you. I want to thank your whole team, and Melody and Tina, and also Andrew Harvey, that I know his presence is kind of hovering around, and all what you do and all what you give in supporting others, and how generous you are in the energy that you provide in supporting these emerging voices in our world that are taking us a step forward. So I offer you a lot of gratitude,
Thank
and it
you.
was a pleasure to discuss these issues with you today.
And I hope we'll talk again soon. So thank you so much. And for
No
now, just
doubt.
have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. You too.